Kamen Rider Amazon is the shortest Showa Kamen Rider series at only 24 episodes. This is widely reported due to parents being pissed at the high violence of the first half of the show, with the second half toning things down in terms of violence. The show follows Daisuke Yamato, a young wild man whose family crash landed in the Amazon rainforest when he was just an infant. He's non-verbal and feral at first, but when he's forced to head to Japan after his village is destroyed, he slowly adapts to modern human customs thanks to a boy named Masako Hikamura. As Amazon Rider, Daisuke fights off the 10-faced demon Gorgos and his goons. One of those goons, the Mole Beastman, eventually defects from the evil side and joins Daisuke as a supporting character in his cast. As for Daisuke himself, he's quite a departure from what we've had before in the protagonist chair. Instead of a stoic badass, we have a feral badass who must learn to adapt to modern human customs after being free all his life. His tragic backstory and difficulty in adaptation gives him an extra edge of empathy to help the characters caught up in the fight, which leads Daisuke to save the Mole Beastman. The Mole Beastman is probably my favorite character in the show. Not only is it a unique concept for a monster to join our hero's side, but further adds on to Amazon's message of being an outsider. We already have Daisuke's culture shock, but now we have the Mole Beastman's more physical issues by being a monster living among regular people. These characters are still accepted by each other, and their closest friends teaches the audience that just because someone is different doesn't mean they're lesser than you, which is something I believe children should learn from an early age, and as someone who's neurodivergent, it's quite nice to hear that sentiment. So Amazon had the makings of a fun Showa series. What could go wrong? Well, the second half switches the main villains from the elaborately designed 10-faced demon and the Geddon crew to the unremarkable Grendia Empire. These guys are painfully basic in their schemes and presentations compared to the otherworldly terror of Geddon, and are probably the worst villain faction in Kamen Rider so far. The only thing I find notable about this group is that their true leader is basically revealed to be a Klansman halfway through the final episode, but outside of that shocking moment, they're not really that great of villains. It doesn't help that the unique dynamics that Amazon had with other characters like Masahiko and the returning Tachibana are downplayed in the second half, as he's more adjusted to human society, which would normally be great to see, but it makes the second half feel more basic than the electrifying first half that played around with the concepts of Kamen Rider more creatively. Despite this, I'd still say to watch Kamen Rider Amazon, as even if you choose to ignore the second half, you still got 14 episodes of classic Rider to enjoy. I think outside of the first 13 episodes of 1971, this might be the most accessible first step to showcase the best aspects of Showa Kamen Rider in order to get others into it. Not to mention, this show has some of my favorite costume design of the era, with Amazon and especially 10-Faced Demon being some of my favorite Kamen Rider designs ever, even outside of the Showa era. While X started to shake things up, Amazon showed how different a Kamen Rider series could be while still adhering to the core principles of the franchise, which is a lesson that many creatives would take to heart for many Rider series to come.